It's time to write your dissertation, but what goes in it? You're going to find out right now. Hey everybody, I'm Leigh from teachingacademia.com, and I'm all about giving you the tools you need to navigate academia and make your best impact. So this is the first in a series of videos about writing your dissertation. And what we're going to do today is I'm going to give you the big picture overview of what goes in a dissertation. Now, keep in mind that there are a number of ways that you can go about doing a dissertation. I myself did a non-traditional dissertation and did a series of articles. Some people write a book. I mean, there's any number of ways that you can do a non-traditional dissertation, and you work with your advisor on that. For this video, we're going to talk about the traditional dissertation, as that is still the dominant model that most people are going to have to complete. So let's take a look at the components that go into a written dissertation. So first of all, you're going to have 5 chapters, okay? And the first chapter is going to be your introduction. This is where you're going to do things like lay out the problem, right? Set up the purpose for the study. Give us your research questions. Tell us why it matters. You might define some really key constructs in chapter 1. Key constructs can also come up in chapter 2 a little bit, but you can also lay them out in chapter 1 depending on what makes sense. And your advisor can really go over with you what they believe are the critical components that need to be in chapter 1 versus maybe putting something in chapter 2. But chapter 1 is giving us the lay of the land, helping us understand that bigger picture, helping us understand why your study was needed. Now, chapter 2 is going to be the literature review, and that's exactly what that is. So you obviously, by the time you get to this point, you know what a literature review is. Your theoretical framework is also going to go into chapter 2. So normally you're going to have, your theoretical framework followed by a more extensive review of the literature. From there, you're going to move into your methods, all right? And that's going to be things like your research design. You might be asked to restate your research questions again. You're going to talk about your setting, the context, how you identify participants, what your data sources were, how you collected them, when you collected them. Your data analysis goes in this chapter, right? You explain the different procedures that you engaged in. And right, and then maybe you might have a short summary paragraph at the end of not paragraph, but like a short summary, maybe a couple paragraphs at the end there. So then after that, your chapter 4 is going to be your findings, right? This is what the answer to your research question is, right? So how you organize that and set it up obviously depends on your research question, and it depends on the type of methods that you used, right? So for example, in a qualitative study, right, you're going to be working towards finding themes and making specific claims and assertions, and you might want to set up your findings around assertions. Whereas in a quantitative study, you may want to set up your findings in relation to answering the research question itself. You might choose to restate the research question and then have the findings. But chapter 4 is all about findings. And then chapter 5 is your conclusion, your discussion. What is future research? What should it attend to? That's chapter 5, okay? So you might start off chapter 5 by summarizing your findings, reminding your readers, right? This is what we discussed in chapter 4, and then here's the bigger picture in terms of discussion and what this means for the field, how it helps us understand things better or differently, questions, holes, new gaps that have come out of it, and then directions for future research. So that's the big picture when we're going through this series and talking about how you write your dissertation, how you can be successful at it. Just know, right, the first thing that we have to do is get a lay of the land and a handle on the big picture. So that's your big picture. And if you like this video, click right here, and I will see you over in the next one.